A lot of fans are review bombing the Odyssey, and seriously, just look, the Metacritic score for the Odyssey has dropped to 5.3 out of 10. There are 495 ratings, and it looks like the situation is getting worse, not better. The more people watch the movie, the lower the rating gets. This difference between the critics and the actual users is embarrassing. Rotten Tomatoes can keep making up their audience numbers if they want to. Metacritic users are telling the truth. An absolute disgrace. Stop ruining our stories, they say here. And they post this photo where Helen of Troy appears, the most beautiful woman on the planet. No, it's not a joke really. But anyway, it turns out that yes, this is 100% real. I mean, Metacritic, the critics obviously rated it spectacularly. They said this movie was amazing, a total masterpiece. And it has an 89 out of 100. But people have torn it apart with a 5.0 out of 10. I mean, just imagine, the fans have completely destroyed this movie on Metacritic. But it's a brutal destruction. I mean, they've torn it apart, they've wrecked it. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Now there's something very curious. It turns out this isn't happening on Rotten Tomatoes. If we go to this platform, we can see that among so-called expert critics, this movie has a 95% approval rating, right? That is, 95% of the critics like this movie. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me. We already know how critics are. But what's interesting is that with audiences, the movie has a 97% approval rating. Wow! I mean, it seems like the vast majority of people are enjoying this movie. In fact, if we go to verified audience, we can see that 97% like it, but what really matters, which is the entire audience, it actually has a 94% approval rating. 4.7 stars out of 5. Not bad. I mean, those are really good numbers, honestly. Now, what catches my attention is that while on Rotten Tomatoes it's being rated very well, on Metacritic the exact opposite is happening, and I wonder why. I have a theory. I suspect that Rotten Tomatoes is deleting comments. I'm telling you this honestly. I think they're deleting a lot of people's comments. Seriously. But anyway, about IMDB, which is another platform where movies are also rated. Basically, the audience gives it 8.3 stars out of 10. This is very good, of course. We can see that 36.2% of people have given it a rating of 10. Yes, exactly. Meanwhile, 12.9% have given it 1 star. Alright, do you notice that? So basically, the situation with this movie is good on IMDB. It's also good on Rotten Tomatoes, but not on Metacritic. On Metacritic, we can see a brutal rating. The movie is being totally destroyed by people. I mean, obviously here they tell us, no, you can't come in here. Okay, it doesn't matter. But the point is that they're destroying it on Metacritic. Now, everything seems to indicate that this movie, at least in its first weekend, is going to have really good numbers. That's what I'm telling you. I think it's probably going to end up surpassing $200 million. This is largely because the movie is in the IMAX format. And as you know, paying to watch a movie on an IMAX screen is much more expensive than watching it on a regular screen. In fact, just to give you an idea, for example, in Mexico, going to see the movie or any movie on a regular Cinepolis screen can cost you 70 pesos or even up to 100 pesos depending on the city, the movie, and the date. Okay, between 70 and 100 Mexican pesos. On the other hand, if you want to watch the same movie in IMAX format, it can easily cost you twice as much. Between 150 and 175 Mexican pesos. Almost double. The same movie in IMAX. I mean, just imagine that. So, we're talking about a ticket to see the Odyssey could cost twice as much. So with that, you can get an idea of why this movie is making so much. Still, the Odyssey has a very tough task ahead. And that's to make more than $700 million just to not lose money at the box office. That's right, just to break even. I mean, not even to make a profit, just to not lose. Look, here it says, Christopher Nolan's movie, The Odyssey, cost Universal $350 million. I'm not joking. Look, including $250 million in production and $125 million in marketing. It needs to make more than $700 million at the box office to break even. Industry estimates indicate that a movie needs a budget that is double or triple its total cost to break even, depending on the marketing strategies. Let's see. Yes, I think this movie needs at least $700 million, and I don't see it as impossible at all for it to reach that. Now, there's something very important. Where that money comes from is also key. Because if a large percentage of those $700 million comes from China, well, obviously it's not the same. Since in China, theaters keep 70% of the box office. I mean, just imagine, it's totally crazy. Now I know that the vast majority of you want this movie to fail. And the only thing I can tell you is that you'll have to wait until next weekend to really know what will happen, because for now, this weekend, the movie will have very good numbers. Now, there are some interesting things, even though the vast majority of reviews seem to be positive. I had told you that there are several reviews that are indeed negative. Here's what they say. I just watched Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, and I left the theater with a deep feeling of disappointment. I went in expecting Homer's world to come to life. I mean, just imagine, and in the end, well, it wasn't anything like that according to this person. Instead, ancient Greece faded away under a cold, generic Hollywood spectacle. I mean, just imagine, here they also tell us, I watched the Odyssey. It's much worse than I expected. Worse, mind you. There are many things I could analyze in detail, and I intend to write a full review. However, for now, I'll say that the ending reveals Nolan's adaptation as a safe and conventional version of Homer's work. Here they also tell us, I just watched the Odyssey. My review in a list. The good, the on-location shooting looked really good. The Cyclops sequence was chilling. The bad. The diversity, equity, and inclusion casting throughout takes you out of this Greek mythology. The dialogue writing is horrible. Sure, it's basically modern dialogue. The characterization choices for Odysseus. We don't care about the men who die with Odysseus. Nolan doesn't want to make them important. Okay? Too many out-of-focus shots with characters just talking. The ugly. Diversity, equity, and inclusion casting. More on that in the comments. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, they gave it 4 out of 10 stars. And a lot of people are saying that they found this movie boring. There are also others who are saying that the movie seemed wonderful to them, a masterpiece. So, draw your own conclusions. Let me tell you now, tomorrow the movie will have pretty good numbers. Almost certainly it will surpass $200 million worldwide. I'm telling you this right now. That will almost certainly happen. And we'll see how it keeps performing in the coming days. Guys, thank you very much and see you next time. Subtitled.